It's a solitude that unites us more and more to Jesus, whom we believe is calling us to this way of life.
Okay.
If I lack something, and that is where our poverty comes in, I should be able to go and beg for it from my superior or from whoever. But all of them take 3 vows.
Yes.
Including the ones that are doctors or the ones that go out to do outside ministry. They all take 3 vows of obedience, of chastity, and of poverty. Now, the interpretation of poverty is what sets us aside.
My dear viewers, this is Nekesa Muramara. Today it's a blessed morning. We have come to visit the monastery of Poor Clare. This is our vocation of the Catholic sisters who actually live in isolation, and they have invited us today to be able to stay with them for a whole day. They do so many things. They have got so many projects, but to begin with, we want to start with the Mass, so that after the Mass, we shall be able to look at all the projects and all the other things they are doing, both for prayer and during their pastime, and also for economic purposes. I don't want to say a lot, but before we leave this place, you'll have actually seen what they do and what they are all about. Thank you, and let's go to the Mass. Today we are very happy. We have spent our day at Poor Clare Monastery. Poor Clare Monastery is one of the vocations of the Sisters of St. Francis, is it? One of the vocations in the Catholic Church. As you know, the Catholic is made up of so many vocations, different callings, and different nuns and priests and brothers doing different things. Here we have come to talk to our dear sisters, just sitting down with the Sister Clare, so that she now wants to tell us about their life. I think so many people wonder how the nuns stay in the convents, in the monasteries, but now we want to get the information firsthand, different vocations. So today we want to hear about Poor Clare's vocation. Now, Sister Clare, I just want you to give us a brief history of the Poor Clares, where you are based, how many branches you have, and actually what are your dedication to. Thank you.
You're welcome. As you have heard, my name is Sister Caroline Clare. I'm one of the sisters here in Mianga. Our life, we are contemplatives. We were founded in Assisi, in a town called Assisi in Italy, in 1208 by a lady called St. Clare, who got the inspiration to follow Jesus from St. Francis, whom she saw as her model she admired so much the life that St. Francis was living, how he had given up everything in order to follow Jesus, how he had even stripped himself, and he went around begging. Actually, he started by begging from the citizens of Assisi, and that is how he has sustained his life until there were too many brothers who also admired the life that he was living, that it was impossible for him to go begging from the citizens, that they started settling down and having their own kind of, or they could go out in the day and work for somebody to earn a livelihood. St. Clare admired this life very much, and at that time it was not permissible for a young lady to be also going around the towns in Assisi. So the church required her to stay in. But she said her life, she also gave up a lot. She came from a noble family, which is a family of knights in those days, and kings, and so it was a noble family, and they were endowed with a lot of riches. But Clare decided against all that. She had been given somebody had been already chosen from another noble family to marry her, but she decided she didn't want that kind of life. She really admired what Francis was living, giving up everything in order to follow Jesus. So she, because her family would not take it well for her to be following around this man, destitute living. They could see, because they were from the same town, they could see how Francis was living, begging from door to door. So the family would not really they would not have wanted her to associate with such a man. So she ran away at night and went, and eventually she was settled in a place called San Damiano, which St. Francis had rebuilt with his own hands, begging against stones from, it was a church, it was dilapidated, but Francis reconstructed that church, yes, using the stones he had been begging from well-wishers, and used his own hands to rebuild the church. So that is where Clare settled, and a lot of girls also admired that kind of life, giving up everything in order just to take Jesus as their all. So they depended entirely on the providence of God, from the well-wishers who would come to them. But you know, those days people were generous, and they admired her, and they admired her. Even before she died, people were already looking upon her as a saint. So people took her as thus and really supported her. Many people joined her, and including her own mother, eventually her own sisters, they joined there. So that life has spread, and that is what we are also trying to live here. But of course, for us now, we cannot sustain that life of, like as I had said before, we live in a very rural area. People do not understand our way of life yet, so we have to do some work so that we sustain our own life here also. But apart from this monastery in Mianga, we have a similar monastery in Malindi of poor Clares. Okay, there are some contemplatives also in Kenya, but the one that the poor Clares, we are in Malindi. And then in Africa, we have one monastery in Uganda. We have 3 monasteries in Tanzania. We have another monastery in Zimbabwe, in Malawi, Namibia, Nigeria, and 2 monasteries in Zambia, and 1 monastery down in South Africa.
Okay.
So those are the monasteries that live in Africa. In Africa, they speak English, but they are poor Clares.
Okay.
Yeah, they take our way of life also.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are other poor Clares also in Africa, but they don't speak English. They use French or another
Now,
language.
Sister Claire, that is it's a very humbling background of the poor Clares. I have seen different nuns doing different things, meaning we have got different vocations. I have seen those sisters who are out there. We have doctors, we have teachers,
yes.
And they have taken different vows.
That's correct.
On what vows are the vocation of poor Clare premised on?
So all the nuns take, all the sisters.
Yes.
For us, we are sisters. Nuns, we are sisters. So, but all of them take 3 vows.
Yes.
Including the ones that are doctors or the ones that go out to do outside ministry. They all take 3 vows of obedience, of chastity, and of poverty. Now, the interpretation of poverty is what is what sets us aside.
Yes.
For us, by poverty we mean, even it's written in our rules, in our constitutions, for how we understand our poverty is not to have things. We have things. We have our tools. We have our tools that we use for our work, but they are not mine. You know, anything I own, I don't own I only, it's been given to me for safekeeping. I can use, but it's not mine. So in case somebody else needs it more than I do, I am free to give away.
Okay.
But I know that there are others who also have the vow of poverty, but for them, they own whatever they have.
Okay.
But I don't know. But for me, I cannot. If I go out to buy something, I cannot buy it in my own name.
Okay.
I don't have. In fact, I don't have anything. I use things, but I only use it as a mean. Yes.
Okay. I think if I'm getting you right, Sister Claire, now that one brings us to the legal issue.
Yes.
What you have is not ownership. You have possession.
Yes.
So, meaning when you have possession, it means you can have something, you can use it, but it doesn't belong to you.
Yes, exactly.
So you have the right of use, but you don't have the right to abuse.
Yeah, okay,
I think that is what,
yeah.
for example, when we say you have a right to abuse, like you cannot come here and now remove those iron sheets from that house, because you don't own it.
Yes.
But you can use it and mend it. When the pipe is broken, you can mend it because you want to efficiently use it.
Yes.
But now you don't own anything. So that is your interpretation of poor when it comes to poor Clares. When we look at other people, for example, when we look at, those who take the vow of poverty, but you can see like maybe they buy a car in their name, meaning they own a car. They can drive. When they are transferred from here to another place, they go with their car, meaning they own that car. So that doesn't happen with you guys.
No, it doesn't happen with us. Like, before I make my vows, if I had any property, I have to sign it away. And I cannot acquire any property after that, even using a third party. Another person's name. Like maybe I buy a piece of land
and hide in
with somebody else. I cannot do that. So everything. If I lack something, and that is where our poverty comes in, I should be able to go and beg for it from my superior or from whoever or from whoever is in charge of me.
Okay.
Not
okay.
Yeah,
so maybe just a clarification. I want a point of may I know. For example, if today I came here and I'm your friend, and I felt like I want to give Sister Carol 1,000 shillings. It's my gift from me to you.
Yes.
Do you still don't own that money?
No, I can't even keep it. I'll take it. I'll thank you very much for it. But I'll take it to the superior. I say, my friend has given me this. So if I need it, she will say, okay, she will know that I needed such and such. She will say, you go and buy whatever you need.
But you have already declared
yes,
it. Okay. And if you don't, you don't need it.
Then she will take and give to somebody else, or the community will use.
Okay.
Like if you brought us some food here, maybe you brought to me some food. I will not eat it. I'll take it to the spirit. I say, I've been given this. Then we will all share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that is what we call a life of sacrifice. It is not so many people can be able to, in this world of selfishness and self-interests, it's not very easy to get somebody who can be able to do that, and somebody who can be able to leave their all and come and live a life of solitude. I want now to bring you to the life of solitude. I have visited. I'm a regular visitor here. I've sat with you people, and I see like most of your life is in solitude. How does solitude come into your vocation?
Okay, we spend actually, when it's a normal day, we spend a lot of our time in silence.
Okay.
We work in silence. The solitude, our solitude is not just empty, that is empty of words or external noises, but it's a solitude that unites us more and more to Jesus, whom we believe is calling us to this way of life.
Okay.
So we kind of try and create for ourselves that space that Jesus can communicate with us, and in that way we are able to, if I may say, to pray better for the people who come to us, maybe
without
like
a lot of distractions. Okay. Now, just to finish on the issue of solitude, now that you have left everything behind, you have left it, all the property. Let us say maybe before you came in, you have your car, you have given it away. Then you have left your parents and your relatives, and you come here. How many times are you allowed to go and visit your people?
For us, we do not go out to visit anybody. So, but because though we are separated from the world, we are still part of the world.
Yes.
So people do come here to visit us, including our family members.
Okay.
So they come, of course not every day, but they come, and they come like maybe, except in Lent and Advent, that is when they cannot come. But our families can come and visit us.
So like instead of you going to see your mother, she can come.
Yes.
And spend time with you.
Yes, and then go back home.
Okay. Sister, we have heard about your life, and I think it's a humbling life, and it takes a lot of sacrifice and self-giving to be able to live that kind of life. And for example, for how long have you been here?
I joined here in 1996.
1996. That is almost 30 years, a few years to 30 years.
27.
27. So if you were to be taken back in 1995 or 96?
96.
If you are taken back to 1996 and you are told to choose a path for your life, will you still choose this path, or will you choose a different path?
I will still choose this path.
You will still choose this path. This is where you belong.
Yeah, this is where I belong. Okay.
Sister, thank you very much. We just wanted to understand what you do. Now that we have known the history, we have looked at all the projects you have done. We have looked at the way you look for how to keep yourself, sustain yourself. There is a time I came here, and I think it was on a Saturday, and you had these open door Saturdays.
Yes.
I think it is something to do your charity activities. Maybe just in 1 minute you can be able to tell our viewers about your open door Saturdays, what they were meant for, are they still there, and if they are not there, or they are there or not there, what are the challenges?
Okay.
Yeah. And what is it meant to achieve?
So in the past, We used to help a lot, people a lot, financially especially.
Yes.
So we would, and the doors were always open, not just on Saturday, but the doors were always open for people to come, and they would, the issues would always be financial, related to financial, yeah. So it reached a time when it was not possible to sustain,
Yes.
especially as you know, we do not go out we don't work,
Yes.
so we don't have a regular income that we can keep.
on.
Yeah, we only rely. We only rely on goodwill. At that point, even we would only rely on. At least these days we can say we are beginning to get something of our own. But those days we would only rely on goodwill, and sometimes the donors were not from here. They were from Europe. They started dying off, dying as in death.
Yes,
they died. So literally died.
Not dying as drying off.
No,
okay.
so then we felt we were not able to keep it up. That is why, I think at that point is when you came, we had said we would only open on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's at the point
yes. So, but even that, we were still overwhelmed by the people who come in relation to how much we were able to help. So now we help very little. We are able to help very little cases, very few cases we are able to help. But we still have now, our doors are open every day for people to come, and we just listen to them. Some will, most of them are now going empty, but at least we are here, we have listened to them. We promise our prayers, and for sure we pray for them. Yeah, so they still come, but financially we are not able to. So those are the challenges.
Okay. So now you are talking about, initially you used to have your benefactors coming in to assist you so that you can assist other people. Then they started dying off, literally. Then you started to have your sustainable projects.
Yes.
We have looked at a number of your projects. They have their own challenges, but I can say in all honesty, without prejudice, you guys are trying, given your background and trying to come from, when you are used to being given, and now you now have to look for your own. It is not easy, but you are trying.
That is true.
Like I can see you have a project where you make the vestments for the priests. I think it's a way of getting funds and resources. Maybe briefly you can just tell us about the vestments, what inspired you to do it, and how does it help? Yeah.
So we first of all, we were inspired to do this out of need, as in it was needed by the people. Of course, when they see a monastery, their mind always runs to church things.
Yes.
So, and they were coming here continuously asking, "Do you make vestments? Do you make vestments?" Oh, so this is marketable. Yeah, but then also. So we started making them, and but now it has its own challenges.
Yes.
The main challenge is that for us, we are contemplatives. We don't go out to market them. Of course, sometimes when we have made something, it sits there for a long time. Nobody is buying it. But that is one of the challenges. But then another challenge is that a lot of people who are secular, like they are not contemplatives, which means they can go out and do other things, which we are not able to do. They are also now into making this. So they are giving us unnecessary competition.
So there is no saying that now that Akina Sister Cara are not going out, let us do outside things and let them do this.
But no,
it is a crazy world.
So that is the challenge we are having, but we try. We try.
So, apart from the vestments, what else do you do apart from farming? What other projects do you do apart from the vestments?
So we also we have the guest house, the retreat house that we welcome people here for quiet time, as you had said. They can come and spend some time here with us, pray with us at a small fee, and that also brings us a bit of income. Then we have candles. We make candles, which also brings us a bit of income. We make rosaries. We make
Table mats.
With using beads. We make those also, and we make from our products in the garden. We add value, like to produce wine that we have just begun selling. Maybe we began selling back in August. So it's not also also it has its challenges, as we cannot sell it's not yet bottled properly.
And it's
so
not
unless
properly,
unless it's properly branded and bottled.
And also the Bureau of Standards have to come in and give you a brand.
Yes.
Okay. So that is something you gradually want to do. So the last time I was here, you were also doing some baking.
Okay, we still do that, except now for the past 2 or 3 weeks we have not done that. Because we had a challenge with our bakery, our oven. We had an oven that we were using wood, and it was disintegrating continuously because of when you are using wood, the metals that you use, so and all the profits were going into maintenance, and it was not good. So I think your boys helped. The team helped us today. I am very grateful to them, because I don't know how we would have managed. So that is our new bakery that you are helping us to bring in. So with a bit of luck, maybe next week we'll again begin selling bread and biscuits and cakes and all that. And scones, everything. We'll be able to begin.
Sawa, sister. I know it cannot be easy, but I know where there is a willing heart, God will always provide a way. We are happy that you have invited us here with your meager incomes, with your humble in this monastery. Kindly reach out to them. You can come and visit. You can come and stay here. You can support them. You can support them by either giving your donations. You can find a project you can be able to fund. You can be able to support them by buying what they are doing. You have maybe a friend or a brother who is a priest. You can support them by buying the vestments. They have got fish behind there. They have got honey. Kindly, if you can be able to support them so that they are able to. These are the their work is really neat. If you look at what Sister Carol does, this is her work. These are the linen that the priests use during service of Mass. So if you really want to get the best quality things, reach out to Sister Carol. And I think she's also on social media. She's on Facebook or WhatsApp. You can always reach out to her and let us support them. Let us support our sisters who have dedicated their life. They have left everything to just come here and pray for you. You have any need, let it be known to Sister Carol and her sisters. They'll be able to pray together with you. Sister Carol, I can say thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
And on behalf of your sisters, tell them that we can't take your hospitality for granted. And this is not the last time we are coming. We shall come again and again and again.
Thank you very much. On behalf of my sisters, I just want to say thank you very, very much for coming. It was a pleasure for us to host you, and we hope that your work, we pray for your work. We hope that it prospers, that your families may be blessed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, viewers. Until another time, have a good evening. But please, before you sign off, remember to subscribe, watch our videos, share, like, and leave a comment. Our handle is Culture Hub TV. Thank you very much and good evening.